Hills Have Eyes is a horror film about an unsuspecting family fighting for their lives when they become the target of a group of cannibalistic beings while being stranded in the Nevada desert. This movie has struck fear into even the bravest moviegoers, but many people don't know the origin story behind it. Now, while there isn't enough scientific proof to factually say all claims are true, this legend has been passed down for generations and is one of the few origin stories that people find even scarier than the movie it is associated with. With that being said, let's dive right in. According to the legend, Alexander Bean was born in East Lothian during the 16th century. His father was a ditch digger and hedge trimmer, and Bean tried to take up the family trade, but quickly realized that the work wasn't for him. He was working as a tanner when he met a woman named Agnes Douglas. She was accused of being a witch due to having a vicious nature, so they fled west to escape the allegations. They ended up living in a coastal cave in Benning Head in South Ayrshire. In order to make a living, the couple turned to a life of crime and began to rob and even murder people. The cave was 200 yards deep, and the entrance was blocked by water during high tide, so the couple were able to live there undiscovered for over 25 years. Sonny and Agnes produced 6 daughters, 8 sons, 14 granddaughters, and 18 grandsons. Various grandchildren were products of incest between their children. Not being able to do regular labor, the Bean clan thrived by laying careful ambushes at night to rob and murder individuals or small groups. The clan brought the bodies back to their cave where the corpses were dismembered and eaten. They pickled the leftovers in barrels. The clan discarded body parts, which would sometimes wash up on nearby beaches. This strategy was used to help conceal their crimes and lead villagers to believe that it was animals who were attacking travelers. The body parts and disappearances did not go unnoticed by the local villagers, but the Bean clan stayed in their cave by day and took their victims at night. As local people began to take notice of the disappearances more significantly, several organized searches were launched to find the culprits. One search took note of the cave, but the men refused to believe anything human could live in it. Frustrated by the lack of justice, the townspeople hanged several innocent people, but the disappearances continued. Suspicion often fell on local innkeepers since they were the last known to have seen many of the missing people alive. On one fateful night, the Bean clan ambushed a married couple who were riding horseback. The man was skilled in combat, so he was able to hold off the clan. Sadly, the Bean clan fatally mauled the woman when she fell to the ground in the conflict. Before they could take the man, a large group of town folks appeared on the trail and the Beans fled. The townsfolk took the survivor to the local magistrate and informed the authorities about what they had witnessed. With the Beans' existence finally revealed, it was not long before the king heard of the atrocities and decided to lead a search with a team of 400 men and several bloodhounds. They soon found the Bean clan's previously overlooked cave thanks to the bloodhounds. Upon entering the cave by torchlight, the searchers found the Bean clan surrounded by human remains with some body parts hanging from the wall, barrels filled with limbs, and piles of stolen heirlooms and jewelry. The clan was captured alive, where they gave up without a fight. They were taken in chains to the Tolbooth jail in Edinburgh, then transferred to Leith or Glasgow, where they were promptly executed without trial as people saw them as subhuman and unfit for one. Sonny and his fellow men had their genitalia cut off and thrown into a fire, their hands and feet severed, and were allowed to bleed to death, with Sonny shouting his dying words, "It isn't over. It will never be over." After watching the men die, Agnes, her fellow women, and the children were tied to a stake and burned alive. It is worth noting that the clan had allegedly killed and eaten over 1,000 people, and there was over 50 people in the clan by the time they were executed. There were even claims that one of the daughters of the clan escaped and went on living a normal life. While none of this has been proved, it is certainly terrifying to even think about. Myths and legends don't spawn from nowhere. I always believe that there is some truth to everything. While this may not be completely accurate, there has been cases of proved cannibalism worldwide, so it's not exactly something that is terribly hard to believe, especially for the time period. I hope you enjoyed this brief summary of the origin story for The Hills Have Eyes. Share your thoughts on it and let us know. We'll be glad to try to answer any questions you may have. Thank you for watching, and remember to stay safe.